Hello everybody, my name is Kendra. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about track and field. Anyone new here, I am a Division I athlete. I guess that's so weird to say, but I am a Division I athlete. I throw hammer and discus on the track and field team at Portland State University. Yeah, go Vikes. I mean, go Vikes, I guess, yeah. But yeah, like I'm in college, if you didn't get that. I'm a sophomore in college, studying business management and leadership. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about it. I know there is a supreme shortage of like track videos, just people in general who do track and field, and especially throwing. There is no videos about throwing, which is quite annoying, to be honest. I find it annoying anyway. I feel like, especially, I was looking for a lot of videos like in high school and in middle school about track and field and about like collegiate throwers, because I was like, I wanted someone to look at, someone to gravitate towards, and I just didn't really have that. Not that I am something like great to aspire to be, but I feel like I'm a stepping stone. I'm a good like, okay, like I got there. So I thought I would just be able to talk a little bit about my experience. I actually started out at a Division III school. I went to a small school in the Chicagoland area called Aurora University. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. It's so small, but it was a good place for me to be for my freshman year. I really was able to get in there and like slowly ease in to the collegiate track process. The practice schedule, the lift schedule, just kind of all of that, because it is quite different from high school. My high school had a very lax track team. We did have practice every day, Monday through Friday. We did lift. We had a lift like during the day as part of my like school schedule, but then I also had like a lift before practice. So we've lifted quite a bit, but I feel like somehow it wasn't to that caliber. And I don't remember struggling quite as hard in high school as I did in college. In college I struggled quite a bit, and I'm still struggling quite a bit. I think that'll be a video in itself, like how to deal when there's things that you physically cannot do. It's a huge thing. People don't talk about it. People pretend that they hit their goals all the time. People pretend they can run as much as everyone else on the team, lift as much. There are times when I cannot do half of the things that my team is doing. And tangent, but so I just thought I would just talk about it. Yeah, I went to that Division III school for a year before I transferred here, and I feel like it taught me so much. I picked up hammer and weight throw while I was there. Obviously, you don't throw those in high school, so it's something that if you are a high school thrower, they're probably going to ask you if you'd like to try hammer and weight throw once you get into college, no matter where you go, I think, because really that's the only way they get throwers for those events, is to like ask you to try it, and then if you end up liking it, you run with it. Like I ended up really loving hammer. I actually really like weight throw. I didn't get to do it this year because I didn't walk onto the team until indoor season was halfway over. We're getting there. But yeah, they will ask you to jump in, give it a try, and see how you like it, and they'll coach you up and whatever. And I think do it. Like a lot of people are afraid of it. There was another girl that was recruited at the same time I was, and we were freshmen together. She did not touch the hammer. I think she maybe tried it one time and she was like, no, I'm scared of it, and she didn't do it, which that's her thing. She was a discus thrower mainly, and she didn't want to, which if you're not comfortable, that's fine. But I wasn't comfortable. When I first picked it up, I was so terrified that I would hit myself with a hammer. I'm still terrified that I will hit myself with a hammer. And if you don't know what a hammer is, look it up. Look up like hammer track and field throwing. Like it'll come up, but not like a. I've had people who thought that I threw like a hammer, like a hammer. I don't know, like a building hammer, and I was like, no, ma'am, no. It's like a sphere, a heavy, it's the same size as a women's shot put on a wire with a handle. You like spin it around yourself. Look it up. But so yeah, I am still afraid that I will hit myself, but you know, you work through it, you get better, you get more comfortable with it, and I think it was just, there's no harm in trying it. Like, there's really not. So I ended up trying that. So I ended up throwing shot put, hammer, disc, and weight throw my freshman year. And because it was a D3 school, I was given a lot of freedom. I was given a lot of opportunity to trial and error and to fail quite a bit, and really get my legs under me to start hitting some marks that were not good, but they were, I could compete. I can compete with the people that were around me and the people that were in our conference, which at the end of the day, as a freshman coming in how I did, it was okay. So that's how that went. It was very interesting having the 5-day-a-week practices. We had lifts that we were kind of responsible of doing on our own. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do all of them. There was days that I just didn't feel like it, days I was super tired, and I just didn't do them, which in hindsight might have hindered me a bit, but it's something that you have to internally make yourself do. It's not like in high school anymore when they're like, oh yeah, go do this, and you have to because they're hanging over your shoulder. They give you a lot of freedom in that respect, but it's also, it could be detrimental because you can just decide screw it and not do it. But you'll get it, you'll get used to it. What else was I going to talk about? So the practice schedule, we got used to. I got used to it. You get used to the intensity of it. And you also, a big thing that no one said anything about was that you might come in as a freshman, they might not look at your throw at all. They recruited you because you threw 34 feet in the shot put and you want to come in, show them what you could do and help, like have them help you get better. That might not happen. They might not look at that throw at all. They might not see your original throw, and they just might not care to like see where you were at before. There are a lot of coaches that really just want to get their form in you and get you doing it so they could just flush all the old stuff out. They don't even want to talk about it. They don't want to look at it. They just want to get to their form, their nitty-gritty, the things that they know is going to help you throw far. So I think that was hard too, because I was like, wait, but like I threw farther like this. That might be the case, but you kind of just have to put it out of your mind and move on. That was also a big problem for me just in general. Like I was like, I threw so much farther in high school. And I've heard so many athletes say this, their freshman year of high school was so much easier and they threw so much farther, or I mean their freshman year, from high school to freshman year, they threw so much farther in high school. And I've heard that so many times, and I've heard that it gets better. And if I had stayed at the same university, apparently this would have been the year where I would have gotten immensely better. So fast forward through the summer, I decided to change majors and be a business student. I was a technical theater major at Aurora University, and so I decided to transfer to Portland State University. And also, it's a whole nother video, but that's the gist. And that's why I'm here now. And I was not going to be on the track team. I knew that at D3 I was mediocre, and I was like, there's no way I can even walk on to a Division I track team. Like, there's no way. I'm not going to try, I'm not going to embarrass myself, I'm not going to do it. That was my whole mindset. But then I don't know what it was. I think it's because I had so much free time, and I had never had free time, like never. At Aurora, obviously, I was going, just go from 5 in the morning when we had morning practices to 10 at night, because I was a part of the theater program and we had shows at night, and I was just always busy. And while that sucks in the moment, overall, it creates such a fulfilling life. You have so much to do, you're constantly going, and you're just like, you feel fulfilled. That's the only way I can describe it. So you feel fulfilled in what you're doing, and hopefully you feel fulfilled. That's how I felt. And I came here and I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't a part of theater, and I just had nothing going on. And so I ended up starting my own business, also another video. But that still was not taking up the time that it needed to take up. I was bored during the day. Like, you know when you run through your subscription box in YouTube and you're like, this is ridiculous. Like, I need to do something. And I actually went, it was after, I'm on a quarterly system, so I had just done fall term, my first term here at Portland State. And so I went to my advisor to schedule my next term of classes, make sure I was on track for courses and all that. And on a whim, I asked her if she knew anything about the track team, how they recruited, if they took walk-ons. And she said, oh, well, they're actually doing renovations to a bunch of buildings on campus. So right now, the athletic offices are one floor up. Like, you can go up there and knock on the door, ask someone. And if anyone knows me, if you knew me, you would know that I am not the type to just walk into an office and be like, hi, my name is Kendra, like, I'd like to talk to you about the track team. Like, I have like a little bit of anxiety, and it's just not something I would have been comfortable with. But I think it's because I thought, you're not on this level. Like, it was so like far gone in my mind that like I couldn't do this, that I like suddenly got the courage to do it. And so I was like, yeah, okay. And so I walked down the hall, went up the elevator, and I walked into this big Portland State office, and it had like all the football jerseys, because it's like the overall like athletic offices. And there was no one at the reception desk, which also, I was so ballsy because there's no one at the reception desk. So I ended up just walking down the hallway of all like the offices, and the first one with the door open, I like peeped my head in, and I was like, hi, do you know where the track and field coaches' offices are? And the coach was sitting there, and he's like, that's us, actually, hi, like, I'm Coach Hepburn. And I was like, hello. And basically I just sat down and told them my situation. I had transferred from a Division III. These were my marks. Also, be upfront about your marks. Do not lie, do not embellish, just tell them these are my marks. I know it's hard, I know it's sometimes embarrassing, just tell them. I told them my marks. I said, hey, like, I was on the verge, because for me, leaving Hammer, I was on the verge of moving up to a next level. Like, it was progressively building, and then I left. Well, season ended, and I didn't have another season there to continue growing my hammer throw. But I said, like, hey, last year was my first year in Hammer. I think I did pretty decently, and I know I have so much more inside of me to give to this sport, or give to this event is the word I was looking for. And they were like, yeah, I mean, they basically were like, yeah, sure, you want to walk on? And I was like, I mean, if you're willing to take me, just know that, like, I also was very upfront with saying, just know I'm not in the world's best shape, because I had not practiced, lifted, ran, done anything since conference ends May. I didn't start track until January. So it was a good like chunk, like 6 months, 8 months of not doing anything. May, June, July, August. 8 months, yeah, of not doing anything. And so they're like, yeah, I mean, if you're willing to work, I don't see why not. I was like, so just like that, like, it's that easy. So yeah, basically I kind of got lucky, because Portland State did not have a hammer thrower at the time, and so they were really open to bringing me on, because they could, even if I was crappy, they didn't lose anything having me on the roster, practicing, trying to improve. So you can catch a break like that. And even if they do have a team, and you know they have some really good people, you never know who they're willing to develop, who is leaving, who's coming in. Like, you really just have no idea what they're looking at for their next few seasons, and if they'll be willing to take you on. So I would say, if you were in a similar situation to me, and you thought, no way I can go to a Division I school and do this, you could. You could definitely try and walk on, and it could surprise you. So basically that day, they got me rolling on the paperwork. It took 3 whole weeks to get approved by the NCAA. If anyone knows how that goes. It's a very lengthy process. They really have to look into your background, look into your grades, look into like how you exited your old school if you're transferring. That was the thing that took a while for me, because I messed around and I didn't formally withdraw from my old school. I just didn't re-enroll. I never signed a paper saying like I'm never coming back. So that kind of added length to my new recruiting process here at Portland State. So yeah, I think moral of the story, walk into that office no matter how scared you are, because there could just be an instance where they're like, you know what, why not, like, give you a shot. I was mainly talking to the like recruiting official, and he's also like the field coach, and he took me in to see the head coach, who, you know, he deals more with runners, so he was more just like, are you willing to put in the work here? Like, are you ready for this? Because we're ready to take you on and to work with you, but are you ready? And I was like, in the moment I didn't know, because I didn't plan for all this to happen, but I was like, you know what, yeah, I'm ready, sure. I was like, I will work as hard as I can. I'll give you all I have to work and be on this team. And they were like, okay, and he signed my paper. So fast forward 3 weeks, and I was able to practice and get into it, and now I've been on the team for 3 months, about 3 months. I've attended 3 or 4 meets, and it's rolling. It has been a big adjustment, just Division 1 to Division 3, but I was also going to do another video on that. I just thought I'd give you guys like a brief overview of my situation coming from a Division 3, where I was moderate in the standing, just, you know, going through the motions, coming to a Division 1 where I am the bottom of the barrel. And lately I haven't been able to really go to the big meets that my Division 1 school is going to, but they are very accommodating, and they have found alternative meets to send me to. Do not think that just because you can't, like, oh, I can't get into this meet, I can't compete with these people, that your team and your coaches will not work with you. Because even huge schools, Oregon State has A, B, and C teams, and they send their C teams to lower ranking meets to compete. Like, they want to develop you, they want to help you. Even if they know that you're not going to be #1 greatest person ever, they still want to help you. And I think it's hard for a lot of people to let your coaching staff and everyone just help you. So yeah, that's kind of just what I want to talk about today. Just put yourself out there, let them help you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is like the first installment of my Track Tuesday little segment. I think I'm going to be having Track Tuesdays, kind of like miscellaneous Sundays, and then I think I want Thursdays to be kind of pertaining to my business, so like business to Thursdays. I don't know, we'll find a name for that, because this could be another segment. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if it was helpful in any way. If you have any detailed questions or anything that you think would be a good video idea that I can branch off from this, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.